Okay. They got a lot of mileage out of that riff, man. You know, one thing that I'm guilty of as a songwriter, and I mean, this isn't like bad. Like, it's just like I'll use a whole bunch of different changes in a song, a whole mess, a whole bunch of, and like for that, like they had maybe 2 or 3 riffs that went for 9 minutes, you know, and it sounded cool. They had leads coming in over it. The drums were good. Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the Sound Live. My name is Matthew, and I am your host. Today, I have 2 righteous special guests. I have Evelyn Holland and Kyle Walz. Evelyn is a singer-songwriter and musician. Her group is Keys of Solomon. What are you doing right now? You tell us about your latest projects.
Well, I mean, I'm getting together with a few people this week and kind of, testing the waters with new people. So it's not any like particular projects that I have going, but I'm definitely going to be doing a bunch of jamming this week.
I love jamming. Jamming is so much fun. And also, I have with me Kyle Walz. Kyle Walz is another singer-songwriter and musician. What's on your calendar this week, Kyle?
I need to mention last week, my cat now is so interested that I'm sitting here talking to my computer. Last week on my channel, I had 2 new things going on. One is I found some footage of when I got to perform in New York City. And so I shared kind of like a review of that performance, one of the songs, and the cool introduction I had. And the other one is I have a city music story series. Mm-hmm. And actually, some Leaper suggested that I do the Tillman Brothers. And remember, we reacted to them.
Yeah, they were cool. They did that rock and roll thing, and they were like laying on the floor and spinning around. And stuff.
Yeah,
like Back to the Future stuff. Like, yeah.
Exactly. So I didn't realize that they were actually from The Hague. You know, they went from Indonesia to the Netherlands, and they made the Netherlands be the first or the third country to accept rock and roll like on the regular charts. So as you know, United States, the UK, and then Netherlands. And that was kind of a neat little tidbit of rock and roll history. So I had my second installment of the City Music Stories, and The Hague will be coming out in a couple weeks with the Tillman Brothers. That's pretty cool.
That's a cool idea for a series, man. I like that. That's something neat, you know? Really cool. Let's move on to Eve's Choice. Why don't you introduce this one for me, sister?
Agalloch is a band I've been into for a while, and they're actually were Portland local. So they're not together anymore, but
Agalloch. That's a cool name. I like it.
Yeah, it's I think the lead guy picked it out of a dictionary.
You should say
just like
Agalloch.
Yeah, I think it's a Japanese word. I think they were saying for a type
if it's
of
Japanese,
resonance.
you definitely got to say it like that. Agalloch.
Yeah, it's like a resinous wood or something like that, and that I feel like that fits their their vibe, because it's proggy, it's woodsy, it's cinematic, it's kind of folky, but in a dark way. Like you're taking a walk through the woods on this great hike, just kind of contemplating life, and that's very informative of their lyrical themes and philosophical themes even.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty right off the bat, as far as the visuals anyway. The reflections on the water in the dark, all black and white. It looks kind of nice.
That is most likely. That's probably here in Oregon too, since they're a Portland band.
Yeah, Oregon's cool in a lot of ways. Yeah, so not cool in other ways. But we're gonna go on to Agalloch here. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this. Anything you would say about it, Kyle, before we start Eve's pick here?
Oh, I excited. I always enjoy what Eve throws at us, because like I mentioned, I get to hear something new, so.
Yeah, me too. I don't think anything that you've thrown at me I've heard before, and that's cool,
Yeah.
And some of the things, most of the things, Kyle, you've thrown at me I haven't heard before either. And the same with Sarah, and I think probably the one I've heard the most is Jennifer. But anyway, I kind of get another tangent alert. Tangent alert. Tangent alert. Okay, so without further ado, musicians panel reacts to Agalloch. Agalloch, not unlike the waves. Full video, the lyrics in Spanish subtitles. Here we go! They got a lot of mileage out of that riff, man. You know, one thing that I'm guilty of as a songwriter, and I mean this isn't like bad, like it's just like I'll use a whole bunch of different changes in a song, a whole mess, a whole bunch of, and like for that, like they had maybe 2 or 3 riffs that went for 9 minutes, you know, and it sounded cool. They had leads coming in over it. The drums were good. Honestly, I felt like vocally it was weak the whole time. I just the vocals weren't really my thing, and I probably could have been with it a little bit shorter. I'll be honest, because it felt like it kind of went on a little bit extra at the end. But if it would have been live, it would have been totally different because you know it would have been just like sitting there drinking your beer or whatever and enjoying the music. You know, it doesn't matter how long the song is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I started to get a little bit irritated just because I knew Zoom was coming, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is long." Okay, but that has nothing to do with the song itself. That's the Zoom limitation. What do you think, Kyle?
Well, that idea, you brought up it being repetitious. I thought it worked to really good effect. You know, especially made me think of bands like Ministry, and I forget sometime in the 90s where Ministry got a metal guitar player to join them and was interviewed in a metal magazine. It's like, well, how is it playing with Ministry? And he's like, well, I do a lot of counting, you know, because it's like, you know, instead of playing a bar, you know, like 16, whatever times, like we're playing it like 60 sometimes and I got to keep track of, you know, where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I also, you know, YouTubers like Adam Neely and others talking about repetition legitimizes. I think that
it does totally.
And how it started reminded me of the first time Eve played Opeth. I was like, oh great, here comes this big long introduction. You know, we're gonna have, you know, all these diminished chords and it's gonna be slow and acoustic and then it's gonna start crunching. And a comment on that video is really tailoring my perception, because a comment on that video said, this band is more Norwegian than Norwegian bands.
Yeah.
And that Viking element, you know, that kind of melody that almost all Norwegian black metal has, you know, you know, it's kind of like that. This is more chanty. I kind of like the vocals, actually. I liked how instead of, you know, fitting the metal kind of black metal box, you know, where, you know, it's like, oh, the singer is going to sound like a Spectre or something like that. You know, I like how it was chanty and the vocals just had that aurora right off the bat, you know, and it was such a textural move. That it gave a whole lot of contrast and I guess perspective to the whole music that was set up. And then around like 6:35, and that was around when my internet was being goofy, so I might have the time off, where it went into the more traditional kind of Norwegian black metal vocals for a little bit. I liked that the singer didn't do that the whole time, because I was thinking, you know, by, you know, 6 minutes in, I would have been tired of hearing that type of vocal delivery. And the way to make a story out of those lyrics, the way to have some you know, emotional movement, like here we are, we're chanting, we're kind of telling a story. It's almost like we're at a campfire, or, you know, in like a Viking hall, you know, with meat or something, you know, after a hunt. And then we have this sense of drama, this sense of, you know, tension. And then it goes back to the chanty part, and that idea of repetition, I think, really worked with that, providing that sense of contrast with the vocals.
I like,
you know,
how it wasn't, you know, it was just a standard like 4/4, you know.
Yeah.
I liked the 6/8 feel. It was nice. And I think the one other thing that I really liked was a couple of classical cutaways they went to that were really nice.
Oh yeah, those made me think of Yngwie when he has his stupid and I hate when Yngwie plays. It just ruins, because all I hear is the pick clicking. It's like, dude, if you're gonna play a guitar like that, use your fingers. Come on. And at least the person in the video, was doing like some proper finger style. They had their thumb in the right place. I was like, okay, I respect that. That's cool.
I'd like to say something about that. So actually, Don Anderson was inspired by Yngwie in the early days. He's now he's now a college English professor. He has his own group called Sculpture too, which is way different than Agalloch. I don't think they played live though. But Agalloch played. I think they played live for 10, 11 years, and then they broke up because some drama between the singer and the rest of the band. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
There was also, as a side note, no shortage of advertising for Carvin amplifiers throughout that throughout that video. Like there was a couple of shots of the Ampeg where you could see it, but man, I'll tell you what, Carvin. They know how to make their freaking logo just stand out, like jump out at you like nothing else.
Yeah. I noticed that too. I kept thinking of the old Carvin catalogs.
I'm not making fun of Carvin. I had a Carvin amp. They were pretty cool. In fact, my only problem with it was a 2x12. My only problem with it was that it was just freaking too loud for me. Like I hardly ever got to turn it up past 2. Like you had to like turn it on to where you could hear it, and then you had to dial it back until it almost turned off, because otherwise you were blasting your ears out. It was so loud.
Yeah. Last time I used an amp like on stage, I was playing with this cover band, and we had in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
So what I do with my amp, I had a little Black Star one speaker combo. I think it just has a 10-inch in it. But anyway, I had it on like a little stand. So I just point it away from everybody, crank it on like 6 or 8, to get some tone, and that was really cool.
Gear talk. Yeah, maybe that'll be the next new show.
Yeah, the tangent with a purpose.
The tangent with a purpose. Yeah, that was fun. I liked it. And it was cool. Like I said, I like how they got almost 10 minutes out of like 3 riffs. That is really cool to me. And it was like saying to me, dude, you work too hard, man. But I mean, when you're by yourself, it's different than when you have a full band. You can have the lead guitar solos, and I thought the tone of the lead guitar was really good. The groove was really good throughout, and it was cool how they kind of like. The drummer was sort of a little bit elastic. There was a couple of times where they played with the tempo a little bit. It wasn't completely set the whole way through. There was a couple of little shifts in it, but the drummer was like held it together perfect, and it was really cool. So I don't know if if they did that along with the click track with planned tempo changes, or if the drummer just let everybody through that and then they overdubbed. I don't know how they did it, but it sounded really tight.
So like the singer in the early days, because I think that's like the 3rd studio album that they did. Mm-hmm. He was the drummer of the band, and then they got a live drummer sometime around like 2005, 2006.
Cool. That's cool. All right. Any more comments for Eve about this? All right. I liked it. Agalloch. It sounds to me like I don't know, like a land somewhere, like
it sounds Scottish. Like I'm gonna go get some haggis in an ale.
We are at the 2-minute warning. There's 2 minutes left until this room self-destructs. At that time, I will be the only one left here. My guests will be gone. And so, it's very important that you subscribe to them right now. Make sure you go over to Kyle Walz and subscribe. Go over to Evelyn Holland and subscribe. I am super thankful for having every single viewer. I'm super thankful to have my righteous dudes here with me today, Kyle and Evelyn, my awesome brother and sister in music. And I'm super happy. We'll see you guys next Monday with Kyle. And in the last minute here, I got to tell you, please like and share this video out. And you can find extra bonus videos at patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio. Being uploaded this week, Squirrel Nut Zippers, our reaction to Hell, a very special bonus video about the afterlife. That's right. Make sure you check that out. It's only at patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio. And of course, you can get your music lessons at MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com, where you get to record those lessons and keep them. And I'll see you guys all next time on The Sound Live.